Wow, looks like we're running here. I hope. We're gonna fly a power kite here. Only flown it one time before, but it went okay the first time. The winds haven't exactly been the best, but I think we're talking about how many K today? Not much. It seems like there's maybe 12 or 13 kilometers an hour. This kite should be okay. I should tell you what it is. It is a Flexifoil without spars. It's a Sting 3.3. That means it's got 3.3 square meters, I think. And as you can tell, excuse me, I got sick on the airplane. I got 3 sandbags on here to weigh it down. And what I'm going to do, hopefully, I say hopefully, is pull this kite up with those bars I got back there. And it's going to pull that leading edge up. And this kite is going to hopefully take flight. And I don't think there's much risk of it tearing my arms off or thrashing my body today because there's not quite enough wind. So anyways, what they do recommend though, and this is the first kite video I've ever done, what they do recommend is that you don't disconnect your lines. Now, I read that in the book, and I should say I've flown lots of 2-line kites, Flexifoils, you know, stunt kites, all that type of stuff, but not for many years. So anyways, what I mean to say here is that they recommend you don't disconnect your lines here like that. I've done that, and I put them back together in my flat in London, and it, you know, I don't have a 75-foot living room, so I wasn't able to quite properly put them back together. So I had to do them here again, but as I say, I have a general understanding of what to do. So I think I put them together properly, and hopefully we'll get this kite launched. It's a nice kite. It flies really good. I had it up a couple of days ago. Temperature is about 18, 19 degrees, 17, 18 degrees. We're close to the airport. So if I'm standing like this, yeah, I should get the angle okay. What we're gonna do here, put our regular phone onto la camera. So I have disconnected the cables and I've reattached them, and I think they're okay. You never know till you try. Shouldn't be an issue. So the reason I undid them is it looked like they got all tangled, and I didn't want them all tangled. Obviously, the kite's not going to fly very well. Are we running here? Yeah, and obviously the kite's not going to fly very well if it's all tangled. So that's why I was sort of forced to undo them. But, you know, I think it's probably best to have an understanding anyways. So anyways, this is how we hold our lines between the index and middle finger. I'm upwind. And what I will do now, hey, there we go. What do you know? Up you go, kite. Get you up to where the wind is. This is quite a powerful kite. So they say when there's some wind. At least I got the lines on proper. It's actually probably good if when one is learning to fly a large power kite that they don't take it up in really gusty winds, because you could probably kill yourself pretty good. Although this looks like it's going to be more bother than it's worth. Yeah, there's a bit of a breeze. So until we fly it, we go back, and we go forth. At least we're finding where our wind window is. That's not too bad. A little more over there. Whoop, a little bit low on that one. Ooh, I hit my camera. So, yeah, it's flying anyways, which is a good thing. It's not pulling too bad. So what we have here is a 4-line kite. The front 2 lines control the leading front edge, your power basically, as on a kite with a spar, and then you have these 2 additional back ones that if you pull towards you, the kite will drop out of the sky because it deforms the kite. Boy, you know, about 3 or 4 Ks worth of wind would be really nice here, but this isn't bad at all. If you cross the lines like that, that's cool. No big deal. Just sort of remember where you crossed them from. Another video that I may do in the future, as I say, may, I will show you how to string one of these together. The only reason I actually even bought this kite was because I wanted to bring my kites with me to Spain, but you know, they all have spars and they don't really fit in a suitcase so well. If you try to bring them on the airplane, it can be considered a weapon. You don't want to bring any weapons on an airplane, so I don't want to lose the kite spars. Yeah. So let's get into the lesson here. I assume I'm doing this for my kids back in Canada. My kids have actually all flown kites before in England. So yeah, let's we go back and forth. This allows us to find our wind window. It seems to pull really good there. Right about there, right there. That's where the majority of the wind is. And this is where I'll sort of try to keep to the center of. I bet if I went about 200 meters back to the beach, I would have an even more steady breeze, but I don't think there'd be a whole lot more wind velocity over there. This is probably just as good as that, and there's fewer people here, so. So this little Sting 3.3, well, not necessarily little, seems like a very nice kite. I can hardly wait to get it out into a proper wind, like 20 kilometers, 25 kilometers. Or for you guys on the good old Imperial system, you know, 15-mile-an-hour wind. I got a feeling you could do some serious scudding, which is sliding around like this. I did this the other day here. See those marks on the ground there? That's where I scudded. Boy, I could use some more wind here, but it's okay. No big deal. It's flying. That's the main thing. And around we go again. So, what you'll want to do, if you can, is keep your arms sort of semi-bent in front of you. What you don't want to do is have your arms full steel like that, because then you've got nothing to work with. By the same token, I think you want to have your arms in front of you like that all the time, because then you have no maneuverability or no ability to make adjustments. Sort of in the middle. go. Yeah, this thing's going to be a good flyer. I can hardly wait to get it out on the water. Hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. I hope this camera is set up all right. So you got an amazing amount of control. Sometimes you might have to take little steps backwards and forwards, depending on if you're flying in a weak wind. You want to make sure the thing does stay up. Ooh. I have a pair of 6-foot Flexifoils that I used to fly in London between 96 and 2004, 5 on a regular basis. Those things were a gas. And I flew kites in Spain a good number of times too. So, as you see, we can bring this thing right along the ground there, which is nice. Power is in the middle, right there. You can feel it start to tug. And again, I don't have the kite killers on my hand, on my wrist, as you can see, because I knew that it would be a pretty weak wind. So normally what you would do, and I have yet to learn how to do it, but it doesn't seem too complex. Basically you attach some strings here and they go onto your wrist, and then if this kite falls out of your wrists, which it very well could in a big wind, all that happens is it goes like this, ka-plunk, and the kite drops out of the sky, hopefully, and it doesn't drag you 300 feet over a bunch of gravel or through some shark-infested waters. But yeah, this looks like a nice little flyer. This is my first 4-line kite, and I do indeed like it. I can definitely see the benefits of a 4-line over a 2-line. A lot more control. Yeah, good snap of the wrist. You can bring it right around. Someday I'll show you some scudding. You can do a bunch of loops if you like. 1, 2, 3, then back 3 the other way. 1, 2, or just 1 loop, then 3, right at the ground. Yeah, nice little flyer. I'm glad there's just enough wind to keep this little guy up. I hope this is being captured on the camera. The important thing with power kites of any sort is to make smaller adjustments and then let that adjustment take effect, rather than, you give a power kite to some people and they're like this, and just doesn't work that well. So if you take movements and let it do its thing. Yeah, this little Sting 3.3 seems to work quite nice. Flight number 2. Close to Malaga Airport. After you get good, you can skim it along the ground. Once you get flying, you get a feel for it. And what I do indeed need to learn is how to keep these flying lines attached. There's some good videos out there, and I came across a couple of good websites that showed me exactly how to wrap the flying lines up. It's something like damn, I hate getting sick on airplanes. It is something fairly straightforward. See, what you don't want to do is you don't want to cross them all and get them all tangled up, because that could be a real hassle to undo, especially with 4 lines. 2 is bad enough, but 4, horrible. So here comes a puppy over here to see me. Hey, pup. So I think what you basically do is you lay the kite out and you roll the lines in, and then what you do is you take the lines over the end and then put the kite killers in the middle, and then do a figure 8. And apparently they don't cross and get all tangled. Look at that little pup taking a poo over there. He's funny. What a cutie. So it's, yeah, it apparently is that simple. You lay the lines out,